Hello again from my front porch in an absolutely gorgeous day in Iowa. It is like the perfect weather. I'm not even joking. It is incredibly awesome. The sun is shining, the grass, the birds, the air. There's just a slight little breeze. It's not too windy, just a little slight enough breeze to make it really comfortable. I mean, this is outdoor weather, which of course means I won't be. Seriously, I got to take care of a couple, do a couple of tasks I got on my calendar here well, I shouldn't say tasks, it makes it sound bad. I'm going to go see the Vita sisters downtown Des Moines. They're performing here over the lunchtime, and I love them. They are fantastic, and I've only got to see them actually perform like I would say a time and a half, and so I'm looking forward to a full show. And so I'm going to run down and see them here over the lunch hour, and then after that I'm going out to see my friend Meredith out on the west side, and she's going to give me a haircut. I know you're thinking I don't look like I need much of a haircut, but trust me, I do, especially since this coming week coming up, I'll be heading off to the ATD conference, and I need to have my hair not looking even remotely poofy, because I do have that one session that's going to be video recorded, and I want to look as good as I can. Okay, enough of that. The real reason that I'm wanting to do this today, this episode is because I wanted to let you in on a big change that has happened to me here this last week. And I would like to say that it's a positive change. I think there are aspects that can be positive, but it's not really, well, I'll let you be the judge of it. As of this last Tuesday, I have been diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. I was completely shocked by this because everything else in my health screening was normal, was good, was healthy. I'd lost over 35 pounds since he'd last seen me, and you know, my heart, my blood pressure, the sodium, everything else was great, except for blood sugar and cholesterol, and apparently those two are tied. I'm learning a lot now through this process, but at first I was told I was pre-diabetic and they wanted to talk to me. Well, then when I came in, they said, oh no, there's no pre about it all. Apparently the cutoff line to be diabetic is like at about 126, if I'm remembering the number correctly. And I was at, 273? So about twice the amount. Which apparently puts me at high risk for stroke, heart attack, and blindness. And so obviously we want to get this under control as quickly as possible. Now, the good news is he says that being type 2 means I don't necessarily have to use insulin. If I don't make changes and I don't address it, and I continue to consume things that will create more sugars, because as I understand it, I'm not an expert, but the way this works is that your body naturally processes sugar in the pancreas. Well, the pancreas can only process so much, and the whole diabetes thing means that your pancreas slows down, or it has trouble processing it. Or I may be getting that wrong, but that's how I understood it. Something happens that the pancreas isn't able to keep up with the sugars that are going into your system, and so it just starts flooding them out into the bloodstream, and so that's where your blood sugar goes up. Well, after a while, your blood can only hold so much sugar too, and when it hits that point, which I'm guessing is probably that 126 threshold that they were talking about, when it hits that point, then it just starts dumping the sugars into your body, and for guys, that shows up in the tummy. And I noticed that despite, I thought, eating fairly healthy and balanced and taking care of myself, I thought it was odd that I felt like I was getting a little bit of a poofy punchy again when I was trying to go the other direction. And for women, it shows up on the hind end, the backside. So that explains a bit of why I was seeing the change in my midsection there a bit too. But the doctor said that it's probably genetic. My dad has diabetes, and he has to do the insulin shots every time before we go out to eat and stuff like that. But it probably has just been laying dormant, and now, you know, I've crossed the 50 threshold, and apparently once you turn 50, stuff starts falling apart. And so, you know, yeah, everything else is healthy, but the genes kicked in on me here. Now, when he started listing the stuff I'm going to have to cut out or stop eating or radically reduce, I was realizing that that's a great deal of my current menu. So obviously my diet didn't help matters. It's possible that I could have gone longer without getting this diagnosis had I been eating healthier than I actually was. I thought I was eating healthier. I was not eating as healthy as I thought I was. And so that's my bad for that. The good news is, though, he says that because it's type 2, like I was saying before, he's giving me some medication right now to help pull the sugar level down in my blood. But he says if I am serious about it and I change my diet correctly and exercise, which is a whole other factor. He said I have to exercise 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And I have to confess, I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what to do. But so this is going to be a big learning experience, a lot of change. But he said if I get serious and I get going on these kind of things, taking the medication, changing the diet, doing the exercise, get that blood sugar level down, that I then should be able to maintain it just through healthier lifestyle. And I shouldn't need any medication to at least for the foreseeable future to maintain it. So that's the goal. That's what I'm going to shoot for. Although I know it's going to be painful because, again, there's a whole lot of stuff I've enjoyed consuming that I won't be able to consume anymore. Remember all those San Pellegrino sodas that I used to brag about? Yep, pretty much got to cut those out because those are like a can of sugar, flavored sugar. I mean, they've got fruit juice in them too, but there's a lot of sugar. So those, it won't be able to just be like sitting back and throwing them back one after another. It's going to be, hey, occasionally, a special occasion, here's one. Yeah. And diet soda is apparently a huge problem. And so I'd already cut down my diet Pepsi intake. Now I've virtually cut it out completely. Since my diagnosis on Tuesday, I've only had one soda, and that was one smaller sized glass of soda that I had when I went to go see the Avengers Infinity War movie the other night. Because you go to a movie, you have to have popcorn and a soda. That's just a given. You don't have popcorn and a water. And so I had a soda there, but it was just one soda, small size, not the big gulp, big kind of size, no refills, just the one. I limited myself to that. And so that's been my one soda that I've consumed since then, and I'm committed to trying to keep that pattern going forward. So anyway, I've been eating a lot more vegetables voluntarily. Had some asparagus with my meal the other night. Instead of I went to Chick-fil-A and I got the naked chicken nuggets. They're not breaded; they're just grilled. And instead of the waffle fries, I got fruit cup to go with it, which was really tasty. However, I do have a complaint, and I'll probably talk about this more, I'm sure, that it's a lot cheaper to eat crappy. Seriously, the stuff that you shouldn't be eating, the stuff that contributes to the situation I'm now in, is the cheap, inexpensive, easy to access stuff. The stuff that you should be eating to prevent the situation that I'm now in, you have to pay more for it. At Chick-fil-A, I had to pay an extra $1.50 to get the fruit cup instead of the waffle fries. It's like, why? Why do I have to pay more? I'm sure there are reasons. Business is business, but still, if it was more accessible and cheaper for people to eat healthier, probably wouldn't be as many diabetics. Which the conspiracy guy in my brain says, maybe there's something behind that. So, like I said, I'm sure maybe we'll talk about that more in the future. Anyway, so the doctor's giving me this medication, this big bottle here. I got this rubber band on it because it's got some interesting instructions I want to share with you. Actually, those of you who've been through this situation, you're probably familiar with it. What is it? It's metformin, something like that. But see, you got look at those instructions. I'm going to read these to you. Take 1 tablet daily for 1 week. Then take 1 tablet twice a day for 1 week. Then take 1 tablet every morning and take 2 tablets in the evening for 1 week. Then take 2 tablets twice a day thereafter. There's started with 70 tablets in here, and so that takes me through the month of May. I know because there was no way I was going to keep track of because what they're doing is is they're trying to ramp it up, you know, to have it be a graduated scale. Then there's like this 1 week where it's really hitting. I'm taking 3 pills a day for a week, and then it brings it back down a bit too. Because apparently the most common side effects of this medication is upset stomach and diarrhea. And so that's something to look forward to. But so this I had wrapped around it because I made this up because Excel, you know, I'm an Excel geek anyway. So I made myself this little chart. This little chart that shows, okay, here's the first week going through, and then here's the second week where I have to do 2 pills, and then here's the third week where I have to do 3 pills, and then 2 pills and 2 pills, and then that gets me to May 31st. So I got that. I haven't taken today's yet because I haven't had lunch yet. And they said that I'm supposed to take this medication after I have food in my stomach. Don't take it beforehand, or apparently the reactions are even worse. So I haven't taken today's. Yesterday was the first one, and it didn't really hit me all that hard. So I'm hopeful that I'm one of the people that don't have significant side effects. But when I start doing 2 pills or even 3 pills a day, that'll be a whole lot of that stuff running through my system, and we'll see what happens. And fortunately, the 3 pill a day doesn't have to be done until after I come back from the ATD conference. So otherwise, I was a little bit worried about potentially being, you know, up doing my presentation, all of a sudden, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. That'd be embarrassing. Anyway, all right, so I got to get going because, like I said, I want to catch the Vita Sisters at their performance. If you haven't seen the Vita Sisters, by the way, you need to see them. They are incredibly talented, beautiful voices, talented musicians, just incredible. I might even shoot some video of it while I'm there, and if I do, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll slip it in here. Although I doubt that now that I think about it, because I'm sure this episode is already running long as it is. So I'll give the Vita Sisters an episode all of their own. Good idea. Good thinking, Paul. Glad you came up with that idea. Thank you very much. All right. Well, as I said, I need to get going so I'm not late getting to that, and get out and enjoy some beautiful weather before I go sequester myself in my office to work on training for the rest of the day that I have to get done before I go to the ATD conference. All right. I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.